what's like the biggest challenges you faced finding housing in the Netherlands?
The landlord saw me. He said, "No, you will never get the house," and he tore the contract.
So I pay €0 for housing.
The profiling, racism, discrimination.
In your case, how long did you wait on the list before you were pushed to the top?
5 years.
You need to make 4 times as much as the rent due.
One of my friends bought the house and she's my landlord now.
Hey guys, what's up? Vade Chronicles here today. And guys, as some of you already know, there's a housing crisis in the Netherlands. And I know what some of you are thinking already. The word crisis is a huge word. But here's some facts for you to get an understanding of what's going on. So this year, actually, about 415,000 people struggled to get a house for them to rent by themselves. The housing prices actually went up by 3.8% this year as compared to last year. So yeah, guys, now I'm going to hit the streets of The Hague and I'm just going to be asking people about their current housing situation and the biggest challenges they faced finding a house in the Netherlands. So stay tuned. And the first question is, where are you from?
I'm from China.
I'm originally from the Netherlands, but I'm Egyptian.
I'm from the Netherlands.
I'm from Thailand, bro.
We're from Romania.
I'm from Romania as well.
I'm from the Netherlands.
I'm from Cyprus.
I'm from the Philippines and Germany.
From Mexico.
I'm from Germany, from Frankfurt.
I come from Ukraine.
Ethiopia.
Nice. And now the second question is more specific about housing. So how much do you pay for houses and like how big is your house?
So I have been raised in a way that your left hand is not allowed to know what your right hand gives and that you don't talk about money. And that's one of the big issues in the Netherlands maybe, but I never say the price.
Okay.
However, I can tell you that with the money that I have to spend on rent, I would actually be able to buy a big villa if I would ever get a mortgage, which I would not get as a self-employed single person.
I see. Okay.
And that's one of the unequal things in the Netherlands. Who can get a mortgage? Because if you pay a mortgage, maybe for 600-700 euros a month, you would have a whole house. However, if you pay rent, you might pay 2 or 3 times as much and never own capital.
I would say I must be the luckiest one, in some way. So I pay €0 for housing and it's been 2 years and I still spend €0 for housing.
Okay, that's interesting. Can you maybe elaborate how you spend €0?
Not very likely for me, but still, thanks for the Netherlands, because I come from Ukraine. They have this, help coming from their side. So if you come from Ukraine, they give you free housing and thanks for them. I'm very helpful. It's like the biggest help you can get here when you come here, especially when you're struggling with a job and everything and you're trying to get this opportunity, find yourself, find a job. And then they give you this opportunity with free housing. So that's what exactly I'm having right now. And as I mentioned earlier, I started a new job. So it's like, a big help because when you are still kind of unstable and then you have this, help.
Okay, that sounds really nice. So what you basically said is they've provided housing for you, like after coming here during the period of war, which is quite nice.
It's nice, not like the conditions because of what and why we get this free housing for, but still it's very, very nice and helpful and I'm very grateful for this opportunity.
So I pay for like 650 euros for a studio and it's like around 20 square meters.
Okay. Well, I share my house with like my 2 roommates, and we have like shared living room, shared kitchen, shared bedroom, shared toilet, and then we all have our separate room. So 3 rooms in total.
Okay.
And a balcony. So that's also good to know. And I pay 700 euros every month. So that times 3.
So, I mean, at first I was kind of bummed out, but I found a place which was good for under 600 euros. So I pay 550 euros. And my room is literally like 4 by 4 meters big, bro.
Well, I live with my mom still because I've lived here for 12 years. But I know the fellow students that I study with pay like 700, something like that, for a very shitty place, but yeah.
And how big would you say, like on average, are they paying for? Like a studio or?
Even smaller. It's a very small, like room only for a bed and stuff. And then you share the kitchen with like 5 other people. And then it's like 500, 800.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, so I actually live with 4 other girls. We have a house of 3 floors, so the full building basically. I pay personally 600 euros for my room with utilities included, but I also have the smallest room. So other girls pay 700, 800, 900.
You said you have the smallest room. How big is that? Would you say? Maybe if you don't know square meters, like just mention your bed.
I would say it's like around 8 square meters.
Okay.
Like quite small, basically.
Yeah, so for some context, we're roommates and our apartment is approximately 80 meters squared.
Okay.
And we're both paying 800 for the apartment each.
Okay.
And plus another roommate as well. We're 3 in the apartment right now.
Okay, so and is that like exclusive of utilities and like
No, that's including everything.
Okay, that's really good.
So I pay 650 per month, and it's like 25 square meters, I think. So not that big.
I thought that was big because my
really?
apartment is smaller. My room is smaller than that.
Yeah,
Is it like a studio or?
It's a studio with kitchen and bathroom.
Okay.
So
And you're in student accommodation?
yes.
Or? Okay. Now, so what would you say is the biggest challenge you faced finding housing here?
Well, several things. So one is definitely ethnic profiling, racism, discrimination. Even when one time I got a contract, I paid the rent, I paid the deposit. The second the landlord saw me, he said, no, you will never get the house. And he tore the contract. And because I had no paper contract in my hands, I couldn't prove the case. And therefore I got in a big issue. And this is a very common problem. The other thing is that if you are a single person and you're self-employed, they look at your net profit and they don't look into how much money you make in general, but only the net profit deducted all the costs. And you need to make 4 times as much as the rent due. This is almost impossible.
Wow.
And so there are many other things. And the real problem in the Netherlands is not that refugees or migrants are taking over the houses. They're not the issue. The issue is that the rich get richer, that the ones that have a house and that can sell the house with extra value can buy more property and therefore have more houses in control than to be rent out as Airbnb or whatever else. Whereas those that cannot even start buying a house will lose money paying this huge rent and never earning capita to then enter the house market to begin with. And this is the real issue that they don't want to talk about, so therefore they make migrants and people of color the scapegoats.
Wow.
This is the Netherlands anno 2024 in a nutshell.
Okay, and I guess that was a lot to soak in.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Think about it, people. Just warning you.
I know people that look at like 7 different, hold it, thank you. 7 different, apps and, sites and stuff, and they still need at least like 4 months, 5 months in advance to, find a room or a space to sleep. Wow. And also, usually people just sleep in a hostel until they find, a room or a motel, and it's really shitty because you pay a lot for just to sleep with other people in a room.
Oh,
until you find a spot. And it takes like 3 months or something, I know from people.
Okay, interesting. And,
yeah.
And for you?
Well, I would say that if you don't have a contact or somebody who can hook up with an apartment, like a landlord or something, then I think it takes like a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. You can put yourself on housing lists and, wait for, viewings and so forth. But even if you're going to, like 20 viewings or 30 viewings, maybe like you're gonna be lucky and get an apartment, but like other than that, you're just gonna go view the apartment or the room that you want to rent, and then they're probably gonna give it to somebody else. But that also depends on your finances, of course.
Well, it's really hard because the place I staying so far is just like for a short stay, so I have to move out in few months, and it's also only for like the first year student, and the room I stay is like the girl, she subletted her room to me. So like I have to move out, and I haven't found the place yet for like.
Okay, and you've been here for how long? How many years?
Like around 4 years.
4 years. And you haven't, but you struggled to find like a permanent place to stay or?
Yes. Like, yeah, I'm just like struggling for like moving and.
Okay. And like, how many times have you moved since you first started studying here?
I think I moved like around, once per year, but this year I moved a lot.
Okay. So like more than twice, more than 3 times?
This year, cause I went to exchange as well. So it's like,
makes sense. Okay.
like twice already. And then it's gonna be the third time.
Well, I think I was very lucky. But I hear a lot of my friends who like go to a lot of places, but yeah, the rent is quite high everywhere. And there are a lot of people interested to come to The Hague.
Yeah.
So you have to be lucky. And especially for international students or, people who are not like native, speakers of the Dutch Netherlands. I think it's harder.
Well, there's specifically a website when you can look up to, and then you can fill in the forms and the terms, and if there are possibilities to, like, you have a sort of kind of ranking, and in the ranking, it also depends on the years that you are, how do you call that?
You're listed on the list?
On the list by years.
And on these lists, how many people are usually on them?
Well, a few hundred.
A few hundred, okay.
A few hundred.
And in your case, how long did you wait on the list before you were pushed to the top?
5 years.
Wow, 5 years. Okay.
5 years. But before the 5 years, I already had an apartment.
Okay.
So first year I lived in student accommodation, and I remember looking for a house with one of my friends who I'm living with now, and it was actually like heartbreaking. My parents in Cyprus told me, don't come back until you find housing in the Netherlands. And so yeah, we got rejected time and time again, until it so happened that one of my friends bought the house and she's my landlord now.
Wow.
So that's why we're all living with her. But yeah, that's why it's a funny story, actually.
Okay. I guess.
But it's a struggle. I also moved to Amsterdam a year ago, and it was really difficult to find even a studio. So yeah.
I think it was, just a combination of everything. I did it with you. We were looking for an apartment together. We had Karen. If you remember, we had what do you call her? Like a realtor. Somebody helping you out. Is it a realtor?
Yeah, it's a realtor who helps find you an apartment.
Or I think there's an agent, an apartment agent or something hunting. And yeah, she was a piece of work. Like, she's very annoying. She lived up to the name Karen. I think a part of it is being, non-Dutch people. Sometimes they want Dutch speakers or, white people. That was a problem. But it doesn't even, to be honest, I don't know how much race is a aspect of it, because there's just a shortage of rooms.
Okay.
So I think it's hard either way.
Oof. I mean, for me, and I know for a lot of people, it's the availability of housing. So I always have people asking me, hey, can you give me some tips on how to get housing here? You always have to really reserve ahead of time, because there's so many people coming here that, let's say you have to, if you're 1 month in, you're not going to make it. Cause for example, for student housing, like a student hotel, there's going to be, all the slots are going to be filled out. So I'd say just think about booking or like reserving in advance, like a room, start looking.
And yeah, guys, that's a small sample size of just what people are going through in the Netherlands in the housing crisis. But yeah, guys, I'm probably going to do a part 2 of this video, and I'd love to know how I can make it better for you guys. So please, guys, if you got some criticisms, please put them in the comments. And guys, as this is the end of the video, now I just want to ask you guys, please make sure you go like, subscribe, comment, and share. And I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching, guys.